I'll start with the question of the minister that was not mentioned in your report. And you were quoted as saying a certain minister said, in order to pursue the greater good, you have to enable some of the people to eat a little bit. Can you please share with us who is exactly this minister you are referring to, who said to you when reporting issues of serious crime, organized crime, and corruption at Eskom, the minister said to you, in order to pursue the greater good, you have to enable some people to eat a little bit?
Mr. Ruyter, I think for time management, we'll do like you're accustomed. I won't come in between as members ask questions, so you can respond directly.
Thank you very much, Honourable Gedebe. Just to give the context to the statement that was made by the Minister concerned, is that this was not a response that related to general corruption and fraud at Eskom. This was in response to a concern that I expressed to the Minister and also to other individuals about the governance of the $8.5 billion US funding that South Africa obtained and at COP26, and that would in very large part be applied to the benefit of Eskom. Obviously, when such a large amount of money is made available to an entity with a history of a checkered past when it comes to governance and how funds are managed, concerns arise that this money should be tightly controlled. So I must just stress that at no time was the discussion about the broader elements of poor governance or any condemnation by the Minister concerned of that nature. So I would not want this statement to be characterized as a condemnation by the Minister that there was a broad allowance made for people to so-called eat or participate in funding. So I think this is an important context in view of the restricted nature of this statement that was made. I think that it would be, in terms of the 4 points that I mentioned at the outset, not appropriate for me to divulge the identity of that minister, because I don't think that it can be construed as a general approval or support of the corruption and theft that is still ongoing at Eskom. Thank you.
But Mr. Director, in your interview, you said there was one particular high-level politician involved in this allegation, and you informed the minister. But the minister looked at the senior official and said, I guess it was inevitable that it will come out anyway, suggesting that this wasn't new. Now, it is clear that you were referring to issues of corruption, and when this minister responded in the manner in which he responded, you said it was clear that this wasn't new to the minister, and these are issues related to corruption. And I think the committee and South Africans deserve to know who are these ministers who have taken oath to protect the resources of the country, who have uttered these words to you. I don't think disclosing the identity of that particular minister will jeopardize any case, because it was said in front of another official. And my next question would be, who was the official involved? Because I take it that those two characters, the minister and the official, are still continuing as business as usual and are still executing the role and responsibility entrusted upon them. And who knows, they might be continuing allowing or enabling an environment where corruption must prevail. So ours here is to pursue a path that will lead us to rooting out corruption at Eskom. Hence, I'm pleading with you to share with us the name of that particular minister.
Thank you, Honorable Hadebe, and again through you, Chair. I disclosed all of the findings and the issues that I uncovered with my shareholder representative, Minister Pravin Gordhan. And as I say in my statement, I also shared these same allegations and concerns with the National Security Advisor, Dr. Sydney Mufumadi. What they did with that information, I'm not aware, although there has subsequently been progress made, and in fact,
my apology, and I'm sorry to interject. I'm referring to your interview, and my question is direct. The minister that looked at the official in the eye and said, I guess it was inevitable that it will come out anyway. When you said there was one high-level politician involved in this allegation, who is that minister? Are you saying the executive authority, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, is the minister you're referring to? I'm asking a specific and direct question based on your interview.
All right, if you can please give me a moment that I can just consult my documents that I have in front of me, as well as my advice. At this point in time, Honorable Hadebe, I don't think that it is in the interests of the oversight role of SCOPA and the nature of the engagement that I disclose this today. I don't think it is a critical element that is important, and I therefore propose that we move on, and that I do not disclose the identity of this minister, because I don't think that it is required for us to enhance, as the Honourable Chairman said, the sole purpose is to look at the potential misuse of public funds, and therefore I would not want to elaborate on that at this point in time. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, is allowing politicians to continue misusing public funds not a concern or fall within the mandate of this committee for us to be able to follow and root out corruption as it relates to public purse? Can I just get the guidance and please advise if the question posed by myself, it's out in line in terms of the mandate of SCOPA in relation to public purse?
I do think that having a minister involved in these matters in the manner in which it has been framed is in the interest of the committee. So I think the question is well in order, because we have been saddled with the situation of political leadership interference in the affairs of departments and entities. And I think insofar as having a frank discussion, the question that Honorable Hatebe is posing is a fair and correct one. Honorable Hatebe.
Thank you, Chair. Perhaps just to also amplify my question. At the time you were an accounting officer, and Section 38, subsection 1 of the PFMA requires that as an accounting officer, you must take effective and appropriate steps to prevent losses resulting from criminal conduct. Furthermore, you are also responsible for managing, including safeguarding of the assets of Eskom. Now, surely, when an executive authority is implicated in allegation of misappropriation of taxpayers' money, it was incumbent upon yourself to act. Hence, I'm asking this question. It is in line with your responsibility at the time to ensure that you prevent losses that are as a result of criminal conduct. And in your interview, you have stated, having reported this matter to a minister, it is in line with our mandate and function as this committee to get to the bottom of this and to understand exactly who is enabling corruption.
Honourable Khadebe, and thank you, Honourable Chair, for that clarity that you provided on the scope of the engagement today. First of all, to just clarify my role as the former accounting officer for Eskom and the PFMA obligations that I accepted. I did engage with the South African police at the highest level, with the National Commissioner of Police and a number of other senior officials, generals, brigadiers, as well as senior representatives of the SSA. I also shared information about corruption and theft with the NADJoints at the South African Police Services College in Pretoria. And that, I think, gives sufficient credence to the fact that I extensively engaged with the law enforcement authorities to make clear that appropriate steps should be taken. I also took steps to ensure that I could improve internal controls. Should the commission or the committee so wish, I will elaborate on that in my submission to the committee. I do reflect on, for example, the measures taken to improve supply chain controls, control over coal quality and management, and so forth. So I do think that I'm comfortable that appropriate steps were taken in order to ensure that we do have significantly enhanced controls. As is required, I also reported this to my shareholder representative, as I said, Minister Gordhan. He was accompanied by the National Security Advisor to the President, and the main findings were again shared with these two officials. And I think that that discharged my duty to report. I may also add, to preempt any potential question in this regard, that I have complied with Section 34 of the Prevention of Organized Crime and Corruption Act, the PRECA Act, by ensuring that I can share with the DPCI the information that is at my disposal, and my legal advisors have made a submission to the Hawks in this regard in full compliance with Section 34 of PRECA. Again, to move back to paragraph 1 of my submission, disclosing the identity of the minister concerned. I think that this is a question which I would see falling within the ambit of potential security risks that could arise from such a disclosure, and I therefore would direct, with respect, the committee to rather engage with the oversight minister, as well as potentially, if the committee deems fit, with Dr. Mufamadi to obtain further information in this regard. Thank you.
If I'm hearing you correctly, did you disclose to Mr. Mufamadi and the executive authority, Mr. Private Gordon, the name of the minister you are referring to, for us to be able to make a follow-up on this matter?
I did disclose.
Am I hearing you correctly? Have you disclosed the name of the minister that you are not willing to identify to Mr. Mufamadi and to the executive authority, being Minister Private Gordon in this case?
Honorable Khadebe, just to be clear, there is a narrative in the media that there is a minister that I mentioned. I must just avoid any doubt in this regard. I never made any statement to the fact that it is a minister. I said that it was a senior politician. So I don't want to perpetuate any misunderstanding in this regard. I would also think...
Sorry to interject, but I've listened to your interview time and again, and I'm quoting exactly what you have said. You said the minister looked at the senior official and said, I guess it was inevitable that it would come out anyway, suggesting that this wasn't new. You did make mention of the minister. Hence, my question to you is, did you inform Mr. Signi Mufamadi of the name of that minister that you refer that high-level politician involved in corruption? Did you inform Mr. Signi Mufamadi and Minister Private Gordon of the name of that minister? You are referring to us, to both these two individuals, for further information. So will these two individuals be privy to the name as reported by your good self?
Yeah, Honorable Khadebe, I cannot obviously talk on behalf of those two gentlemen. That is up to them.
No, but I'm saying, did you mention the name?
I did disclose it to those two, yes.
The name of the minister?
No, no, the name of the senior politician.
So would I be correct that you are also protecting this minister that you have reported this matter to? Are you
I
not
think characterizing...
I'm saying, I would understand and accept when you are saying to us, you're not going to disclose the name of the minister, but some point during your tenure, you did report this minister to the relevant authority. If yes, please refer us which relevant authority you have reported this minister. You have painted a picture of senior ministers involved in corruption or allowing corruption to happen without acting. Now we're saying, please assist us to deal with that particular minister in the manner that is in line with the laws and provision of powers and function incumbent upon any relevant structure within Parliament. Did you at any point mention the name of the minister to the relevant authorities responsible for law enforcement in this country?
I think the Honorable André, I'm obviously not a lawyer versed in criminal law, but I'm not sure that the statement that was made by the minister concerned, in fact, constituted contravention of law. So I don't think there was a duty on me to disclose or share that with any law enforcement authority. I don't believe that there was a legal duty on it, because it doesn't fall within the bounds of any contravention as contemplated by PRECA or by the PFMA. I think that the matter is best resolved, if I may, Honourable Chair, by the committee addressing the question directly to, if you can just allow me to finish, please, to Dr. Mufamadi and Minister Gordhan.
I'm trying to understand, when the minister says to you, in order to pursue greater good, you have to enable some people to eat a little bit. What does that mean to you?
I think what it speaks to, Honourable Hadebe, is a general condemnation or climate where corruption is tolerated, where it is deemed to be, if you will, in the normal course of business, and that is in fact a way of ensuring that business gets done. And I think that speaks to a general approach to crime and criminality where it is tolerated, when I think, if I may presume to characterize my engagements with SCOPA, is that SCOPA has a zero tolerance approach to these matters. And therefore, I was taken aback and surprised when I heard this particular statement.